was when he's on Cloud 9.
Yeah, I think
for that reason also.
It was an Ornn counter pick.
Yeah.
Because the goop prevents Ornn's R2. And it was a really, really cool thing. We are into the draft right now.
Impact's playing Sejuani, which is not what you wanted.
No, that is, those still, yeah, no, there's not really a lot similar there.
Slow stuff.
It does slow stuff. You got, if he goes Riley, she's already from the Freljord. Yeah, it's not really there. Lucian, Nami, of course, a incredibly premier pick. Seraphine, I would say, is the strongest champion in the game right now. Was banned away, I think intelligently so. Really only CLG had done that scouting. Almost every other team in the world was late on the Seraphine train. Now she's even stronger. People have caught up. She's going to be gone. Bel'Veth has been left open. Has been played a lot in LCS Academy, so we may see that in the draft later on.
It's also popular in my Champions queue a lot. I was actually expecting to get banned a ton because at least in Champions queue, you know, you get to hear pros comms. They all seem to think it's pretty OP. Almost every single game, someone was like, "Come on, gotta ban Bel'Veth." Like,
right.
So it'll be interesting to see if it does actually come out. Of course, competitive is a different beast than Champions queue.
I didn't notice. Yeah, so Vulcan. Shout out to G2 who writes, yeah. I would like to point out, I saw Vulcan earlier today. I was coming through the kitchen, he came out of the bathroom, and I said hi, and he just walked past me. That's it. He didn't say hi back. That's the story.
He said hello to me when I said hi to him today.
Yeah, well, he likes Canadians more than Americans.
We're both Canadian.
Apparently.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So.
Have you seen that he actually ratios literally 100% of Double-O's tweets now? Anytime Double-O tweets,
oh really?
He just ratios him, and it's just become this thing that like no matter what Double-O tweets, Vulcan is there with the ratio.
This is ratio.
So now maybe Double-O's just watching LCS today. He's even getting ratioed with the stream he's watching.
Yeah, go over here to the LCS.
There's no escape.
Yeah, you don't have to watch Double-Lift anymore. All right, well, draft continues on through. Jinx at the table now as well. Evil Geniuses, by the way, have not played a Senna support game all year long. Spring split, summer split, MSI hasn't happened here for Danny, so they're the ones who banned it out much earlier on. Aphelios at the table, just, 3 marksman ban, the Seraphine as well, which of course is very, very strong. EG do need a bot lane. Ezreal gone. We may see more like a Sivir or something as the Yuumi pairing.
Yeah, interesting. Jhin is another one that I always think of that has kind of fallen out of favor a little bit. Zeri's gone, Ezreal's gone. Those are the two most obvious pairings. Can go a really different direction if they did want. As last pick, AD is very atypical, so it feels like they're doing something situational here. Trying to wait to see the entire draft before they do lock it in. Of course, a couple of top lane bans there to protect Impact Sejuani, banning out the Rumble, the GP. Those are the two, I think, biggest signature picks there for Huni. But it's looking like TSM is just going for a team fight, right? You have this hyperscaling mid laner, you have a dominant 2v2 bot, you're drafting a hyper tank up in that top lane. Lee Sin would be interesting, has fallen out of favor, I think, a fair bit recently, but it's always a staple in competitive play and does give them a little bit of power there in the earlier stages here to be able to scrap with someone like Viego, to be able to potentially attack bot side, and we maybe are going to get the Comet Leandry's MF again, because he brought out MF last week, I think it was, with the Comet, did the MF as the Mythic build, which I was a pretty big fan of.
Yeah, I think the only problem with this one would be you'd be very light on physical damage. May not want that with the Leandry's or the Luden's Corki, but I like this. So the Lee Sin, I think, says, okay, we're going to really, really turbo play through bottom side. Lucian, Nami, one of the most premier bottom lanes out there. I feel like you're guaranteed to start the dragon stacking. And you get first 2 dragons, you are then given a license to AFK the game until you get to level 16 Ornn and Azir. So that style I can see. Crush bot lane, chill top and mid somewhat, and we'll see if EG can attack that.
Yeah, it'll be a really interesting one. Mid feels pretty even. I do like the scaling on TSM side more for top lane. Bot, I do think, Yuumi is going to scale a lot better than the Nami. But it'll be interesting to see how that 2v2 does interact because, I agree, hey, if you go for the AP style, then maybe they're going to be low on physical damage, and maybe the Ornn is going to be too kind of...
That is kind of the look where you're actually just getting a lot of raw stats there, but we are on the Rift, and we'll see what the pairings end up looking like. TSM on the blue, Evil Geniuses on the red. EG hadn't dropped a game in 88 days, something around then. Dropped the CLG on Sunday. TSM hoping to live up to that mark and see if they can do it as well.
The butt wiggle on that Corki skin.
Great.
That's worth the price of admission right there.
It is. Thank you so much.
It's gonna be an interesting game. I do think most of the early game is just gonna be based around bot. There is the potential to go top anytime you have Sejuani paired with a melee. There is kill potential there. Easy to stack up the passive, so Huni will have to play with a little bit of respect. But I think it's more likely to just see farming mid, farming bot, rather farming mid, farming top, and then looking towards bot for more of that pressure.
I was about to malign Impact for not dancing with Huni, who kept jumping in and out of the brush like, hey man, come on, emo spam with me. Like, what's up, bud? And Impact's like, I'm gonna hide back. He's intimidated. That's what it is, okay? Bristle doesn't do well with Forge Gods kind of twerking out at her, so, you know, Impact kind of backs off into the brush. Don't worry about it. We're not having to deal with this one pre-match. We are into the lane. No leash bot side. Both junglers probably something like red Raptors and then downwards. And yeah, I think bot is still going to be a lot of attention.
Yeah, it's also interesting to note that EG is doing double exhaust. I've seen this more lately against Lucian lanes because Lucian is almost always going cleanse when they're expecting exhaust. They cleanse off one exhaust, then you can use the second one to just kind of instantly exhaust. Because it is very much about these really aggressive trades, you know, dashing in. And if Lucian dashes in aggressively, gets exhausted, cleanses, gets exhausted again, you're kind of stuck in. You can't get the E reset. You can't win that all in. Things can get pretty rough from there. As we see Jojopyun taking a nice trade. Ignore the CS. The CS is bugged. There's been a lot of issues with the client lately, it feels like. But I'm sure that'll be able to get updated pretty soon.
Yeah, at least trade bug's gone.
Yeah,
as far as we can
that
tell,
is a plus.
That is a big plus. We don't
At
have
least today.
the 10-minute podcast while waiting on. Sadly, though, that means fewer audience games. Stay tuned. But, you know, for now, nice sidestepping by Tactical. It's all looking good. But yeah, Corki's E at level 1 is pretty much the highest base damage skill, not named Flame Spitter. You just kind of auto-win every trade with that one. So.
As long as you can get the full thing out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But yeah, the theoretical damage there is quite high. Gonna look really good. And simply trading back and forth, of course, until Ornn is level 3. Don't have to worry about that.
Fired early bot. They're not going to expect this.
Yeah, they got some speed exhaust on Nami. He does not have the cleanse. Second exhaust for more slow. Straight up 2-on-2 kill. Tactical. No, not going to go with a flash follow, but 2-on-2. They just chunk Mia. And down goes to the board. EG gets first blood.
So much credit deserved, you know, by EG for the setup there, and also for Inspired doing something pretty atypical, because in this meta, it's been so much about 6-clamp clear, into scuttle, reset. No one is paying any respect to junglers these days, it feels like, at the pro level. So just bucking the trend there a little bit. He skips a couple camps. It's just a 3-camp gank very fast down towards bot. He did Raptors, Red, Gromp, straight down to bot, skips 3 camps, and is able to get first blood for his MF.
I mean, it's the best thing about a Red Raptors Gromp to your strong side start. No one invades your Krugs that early. You pretty much never going to reach there in time. And if he tries to go for your blue and wolves that are up, your strong side bot, the jungler just dies if he tries. So you get to cover everything. Yes, he's a camp behind. Oh no, but covers the engage really well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mia could have potentially just flashed out, right? Or at the very least burned a flash, you know, if Inspired was not here. Inspired, though, gets the flash off Tactical, allows them to get that kill onto Nami. Really nicely done. And they also knew that Lucian and Nami were not leashing, so Lee Sin is starting topside, which, you know, further reinforces the fact that you're not going to lose your Krugs for this, right? Lee Sin is clearing top to bot, so he's not going to be up there to actually take those Krugs away. And first blood that early on the MF, plus Summoner down for Tactical, is really concerning, because Lucian and Nami need to be able to play aggressive. That is the point of this. You know, you talked about picking this lane to be able to stack dragons. So if Tactical has to play on the back foot now, well, it's going to change things up for TSM.
Yeah, it means they're going to have maybe a lack of pressure elsewhere. Now, topside is actually going to end up being plus CS for Huni. Has the, I would say, more scaling champion, and though he's down 2, there's 8 to farm. So Huni is comfortable with his lane right now, already forged his tier, so that'll be fun. He's actually going for a very much sit in lane forever kind of build. Enough mana to spam basically forever. Maple, despite the bad early trade, is holding on just fine, has to get back to lane, has gotten his first couple items. And we get to watch the bot lane spike yet again. Now, TSM, of course, do have 3 summoners to the 1 of EG, so items have to do the heavy lifting here as Spica is around.
Yeah, just need to get that in, and once that actually gets to the tower, they're going to back off very likely, look for a ward here. We'll see if they do place that down. So it's a pink over in the river, but you can tell that they're aware that there could be someone around, and Mia going to pop the sweeper here. So they're going to be able to clear out the pink, but this should give up the info that they could be in danger, but will they back off early enough?
Yeah, the ward is turned around. Looks like MF is going to be running away. Does have flash anyway. Top lane, good skirmish here by Impact. Huni actually out of health and mana right now. May have to burn his first teleport as, ooh, that's going to be a freeze maybe for Impact. I think it's going to crash the turret. So Impact, oh no, actually has it really well. So on the mini-map, that's going to look really good. They're nice. A 10th by Maple. Good reflex by Jojo, but still, good aggression by Maple. Nearly finds himself a kill.
Yeah, good read from Jojo, though. If you flashed late there, you are dead. You can't flash after that. Spica would be in. You're going to be going down. I mean, Impact pushing out Huni, but of course he had TP'd back first, so not too big of a deal. It does get a little freeze. You can see the 3 melees from Red are dead, so Just the grouping of the minions there denies 3 from Huni. We'll see if Impact wants to go aggressive because he is ult right now.
Gonna find the first stun, good chunk right there. Could, yeah, all it would be like 500 more damage to ult auto.
It'd just be trying to get him back to base, basically.
Yeah.
Would be if you think it's worth that, right?
Yeah, but the guy has 2 stacks that are refillable, and ultimately, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to do much. So, still a decent trade, and good job. First Dragon actually belongs to EG. Not only do they initially win the lane against Lucian Nami, they get first blood, they get first Drake as well. We'll see how much more pressure comes out of the Misfortune lane, because, hey, Pickaxe and a Yuumi feeling pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna be interesting to see where he's going. Generally, when I see crit MF, it is Gale Force. Would be interested to see if he'd go Kraken or anything like that, because it is beefier frontline with the Ornn, if he feels that he needs that additional stand and fire DPS. But I am expecting it to just be Gale Force, because that seems to be kind of the tried and true that a lot of players are going for.
Yeah, I think there was a real choice here, because on the one hand, yeah, okay, Ornn engage, you have no native ways getting out from Azir as well without burning your own flash, so there's a lot of reasons to have the dash, but you're still the guy killing the Ornn, and Kraken Slayer, like, nothing beats that item for that job, so it really depends, and he's like, no, I'm gonna be safe, don't worry about it, I know I can play far enough back. Then DPS optimal is definitely Kraken, so I think it is a real choice. We'll see where he goes. If he can get the nice invade, that's well done. And that's gonna be red steel.
It is always really interesting, right? Because there's multiple schools of thought. Oh, nice collapse here. Impact's waiting.
Initial stun is there, level 5. Spica gonna get hit up for a bit, and they're gonna just chunk down Mia already. Knock up from 1, but Huni's gonna get nothing else done with this one. Inspired. Of course, level 6 could almost find himself a kill. Won't be enough to kill off Spica, but still trading in with Huni pretty well. Goes for the ulti, decent damage. Stun not in range for Impact. It's so short range. And ultimately, yes, Huni will live.
Really good read from EG, though. It was a nice invade from Spica and Mia getting over there, but Impact was just waiting in the pit, knowing that they were actually going to come around. And there with the punish, the additional members get out, but they get a kill back, which is obviously very positive. And now going to go in here, try to look for a little bit more damage. Mia straight back to top was not expected.
Yeah, 3v1, so yeah, gonna flash away, because Spica's E-slow might have been enough to follow up with maybe a Q and a Q, like Warthog, a kick back, that would have been a kill, so Inspired forced to flash away to stay safe, but it is a 1,000 gold lead still.
And Tactical is going to be losing on the bot side, right? They could actually potentially threaten to zone him off this a little bit. We'll see if they can deny any of the CS, because Mia went top, died, and then ran straight back top. Doesn't feel like they're comfortable to look for anything. If there were 6, I think they would actually try to potentially pull off the dive, but because they are not, they are going to play this a little bit more safely, but still some of that farm will be denied. You can see about a 10 CS advantage there, 11 at the end of things prior to this wave being soaked up. Right. So nice little edge for Danny on the bot side, plus the first blood means he's going to be a significant amount of gold up.
Speaking of Danny, I want to point out good little mechanics here. So when you're trying to attack someone under the turret, right? Tactical's on the turret, and turret has like 200 more range than pretty much any champion. Obviously more if you're melee, but turret has like a second and a half between shots. So if you wait until it just shoots the minion, you can auto Q and then drop aggro for the next shot comes in. Because you saw Danny did like 200 damage and then just didn't take a turret shot back. And that is timing the actual turret shot, saying, okay, here's my window, okay, back out. And you can do that every turret shot if you're paying attention, and that was good play. As a pro, yeah, you expect it, but for you at home as well, again, time it between the turret shots. As soon as it fires the minion, take your shot, walk back out, no repercussions.
Absolutely, and he's playing right on the edge, and the tower will kind of like acquire aggro on you. You get that little highlight, the little warning sound, but you can step right back out, as you say. Playing that very well, just trying to pressure as much as they can, as Jojo looks like he's going to get his first blue buff of the game. Mid lane, just kind of farming it out pretty easy. Early Hex Drinker has become very standard for Corki. Some people do try to just skip it, go a little bit more greedy, and just try to rush towards Muramana, Manamune a little bit more fast. But I think because his flash was burned earlier, maybe felt, hey, I need to pay some respect over and still get this early Hex Drinker. Yeah,
because the only real magic damage threat is the Azir, and Azir's not exactly lane bully, so I think there was credence to going for greed, but not a problem to say, no, we're going to make sure I don't get traded back.
And I will say later on, I do find Lucian Nami, like the burst, has a decent amount of magic damage with the Imperial Mandate and the Electrocute and the E-proc, so like there is going to be some value, you know, Ornn, etc. But definitely it's vast majority of it is just
shots there, turning the blows back and forth. Keep in mind, of course, Yuumi has some passive health regen, so happy to take a few cooling shots. There again, Danny gets the auto, drops aggro, no problem there. Again to Mia. And of course, MF has so much move speed, makes it even easier, and still just finding the shots in. 2 turret plates down to the bottom side. They did have Inspired waiting for a second. Wanted the root into the ulti. Could have meant the kill. Mia able to drop that one, but they could have more. Low health bars. Inspired does not go for an ulti kill. No flash. Could not find that one on Mia anyway. nearly finding kills with the tower, but TSM survived.
Yeah, they do survive, but again, it's just slowly expanding this CS advantage. It was about 10, 11 earlier. Now it's another 4 or 5 in their favor. So looking pretty good down on that bot side, just trying to pressure them as much as possible. If you get a kill, it's a huge win. But even just the 9th of that farm is going to be nice.
Ornn! Tries his best. I'm just so glad to have y'all back. Thank you so much, by the way, tuning up. You sold all the tickets today and tomorrow, and I appreciate y'all. I want you to know that. But Ornn chants every time, all right? I want to hear it loud and proud next time we get the Ornn horn.
The Ornn horn is definitely one of the best sounds in the game. I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's very iconic. I feel like that was more like a walrus.
Yeah, I'm not a voice actor or a special effects artist or a Foley artist.
True.
Yeah. Bam.
Not much of a caster on.
You know, on the list, casting's the best of them. The bar is set low. Second dragon claimed, the Inferno blazes, and Jojopyun just calmly walks back to the mid lane as he sees Maple. By the way, do you have an affinity for Maple just because you're Canadian?
Can't say. I haven't really thought about it too much.
Me either until exactly this moment.
Yeah.
But I'm like, while we're off topic.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Maple?
I mean, I think he's a fun player.
Great.
I feel like I have more of an aversion to him because of all the times he's beat us internationally than really positive because of his name.
Fair enough. All right, well, Midwave takes a bit of damage. Good job by TSM getting the first Herald. That is going to be an easy kill on tower if they get second Herald. Otherwise, honestly, a decent look later on.
Impact.
Oh, Impact goes for the flash stun. Oh, it's going to land for a bit more. Will they follow through? They don't want to go into Maple. He's a bit too tanky. Has ult, has flash, and it's fired. Would get a one-way trip into the turret and the ground. So stays back for now. Maple even saving his own flash, able to jump over.
Danny just didn't quite have his ultimate as well, so they will lose a plate for the roam. Nice little attempt there, though, from Impact. I like that he is being active with the ultimate. The first move over, intercepting Spica after his invade. Spica trying to get aggressive now. I'm not sure if Inspired actually saw that ward go down or not, but could have an idea that he's in the area. And Mia, again, being pretty active. Was quite active for them last week.
Yep.
Not someone that you expect to be as active when they're playing the Nami, though. Generally that pairing is all about the lane bullying. But I think because the early lane went bad, they no longer thought they could win 2v2. So they're saying, all right, you have a Yuumi. I'm just going to move around the map, and we'll try to get things done over there.
Yeah, I mean, they've at least in, right? They still have a power point to play around, so it's not Lucian. They have a second champion, and yeah, I think it was really wise. I think it was very smart. Didn't amount to a ton, but it did mean that Herald, which obviously brought the gold lead down a little bit here. We move on 3 minutes, the next Drake shows up. EG actually stacking them relatively quickly. It'll be, 17 minutes and then 22 if they want to rush like a Dragon Soul. That is very, very fast. I think sub 25 is always just breakneck pace.
Yeah, and I think Infernal is really nice with their comp. They have a couple of easy ways to proc it. Obviously, the Corki rockets, the MFE, Vulcan playing the Yuumi. That's really easy with Prowling Projectile. So I do think they have a fair bit of poke that they can actually make use of that with. So I do expect TSM to try to fight at this next Dragon. They've all got their Mythics now except for support, which is kind of expected. So I'm going to be interested to see what the setup will look like. Also, I think Jojo's package won't be available because I do think he had it a little bit too close to this Dragon. So it should be a pretty good setup for TSM, all things considered.
All right, we'll see if it comes through then. Leandry's, of course, done. As we check the Mythics, it is double Kraken Slayer actually on both sides. There are some very tanky frontliners, and though Azir certainly has good single target sustained damage, it is still tactical going for the best auto attack damage you can go for here, less so for the assassination. That one, a little bit more surprising for me, just based compositionally, but again, still has a lot of value if he wants to, punch through the front line.
I feel like maybe he's going to think he has to kite back, right? He can't run through the Sejuani and the Viego. And if that's kind of your read that, hey, I can't walk forward into Yuumi ult and MF ult and all this sort of stuff, I'm just going to hit front line anyway, then I think it does make some sense. And I did check in, Jojopyun's going to be about 30 seconds away from package when the Dragon does spawn, so should not have it for this fight unless for some reason it's very, very delayed. But both teams already getting quite active around the river here, trying to set up their vision. It is EG that has the vision advantage for now in that bottom side river. But Spica waiting around in the wings. You can see the little exclamation point appears over Inspired's head, so he knows that he is on vision in that side brush and not feeling confident to clear it out just yet.
Indeed. Minute 18 to go on the Drake. I want to shout out Maple. We had the FTX total gold graph a second ago. Second place in gold despite being against a first blood Misfortune. He's actually farmed up incredibly well. Yes, was donated a turret plate thanks to the Herald charge from earlier, but has done a really, really good job of getting great numbers overall. And I mean, Azir is going to be the guy who wants gold the most on his team, so he's farmed really well. That's actually an incredibly important metric for TSM success in the mid game.
I mean, both the mid laners have a really fast clip of farm. I think we've just kind of gotten a little bit numb to how good people are at farming, because it's like, it's not 16 minutes, and by 16 minutes, both mid laners are going to have about 170 farm, right? So they're already well above the 10 CS per minute benchmark, which used to be considered very impressive.
Yeah.
So farming really, really well here. Managing of camps, gonna be able to grab that first tower though. Solo gold for Jojopyun is a big deal.
Not quite good at back though, actually. Even though Corki was spotted down, of course, the Azir's in the same spot. The 3-on-3, just dangerous enough. They will not knock down this turret. Top actually very low as well. I want to point out that Impact has gotten a decent amount done there. You can see on the minimap, it's the below 1/3 icon. Turrets do in fact tell you how low they are via minimap icon. 148 CS for both top laners. They spent more time scrapping. Second Herald is summoned. You hope you can kill it with auto attacks first. That way, Shelly will not hurt herself, but they're going to say, you know what, screw it. Oh no, it's actually still stuck in the minions. They're going to get nothing off the Herald. The Smite claims it. You hope you get a second charge, or a second, charge of the Smite, and he should.
And it even kind of delayed them, because TSM were trying to escort it in. So now they're starting up the Dragon, but they are a little bit late, and EG will have an opportunity to fight this. Oh, nice buffer.
Yeah, good W. It's going to be flashback for Huni. There's a tidal wave for a little bit, and they claim the first Drake. Well done, TSM. Pretty well able to disengage. Maybe to shove him back as well. Well done again, TSM. Sure they lose Herald, but they get that Dragon off the map. What about the mid lane, though, if they can answer it in time?
Yeah, EG just not able to find a way in. Inspired trying to zone them out a bit, but you can tell they're not actually going to commit towards that mid tower. They're sending Jojo up towards top to push that in, potentially look to attack that top lane tier 1. But a pretty good job for TSM. The Herald not getting a charge, which is unfortunate. It should have been a free tower for them. But at the very least, it does get them the inside track, and they're able to just burn down that Dragon very, very quickly. Stop the stacking there from EG.
Yep, and as soon as the objective is gone, Jojopyun's like, all right, back on side, then I go. As you mentioned, package not available. It's probably one of their best ways in.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Sejuani is the only hard engage on this team, and Huni just did his job of like, I walk up, I press W, you stunned me, that's cool, flash safety, we're good. And outside of stunning and trying to actually punch through an armor stacking Ornn, there isn't an engage. And it's like, well, package would be the other way to kind of separate that and make something kind of spicy happen, but as you mentioned, it was down.
Yeah, and I think it's also really important, as these style of compositions be first.
Oh,
Nice kick flash.
Forward hop kick flash, but will not land. And so flash safety is going to be enough. Even the red buff claim goes right back in. Danny, he's going to live, and Spica will not. 7th place may be your destiny after all. Inspired not going to find the target, though. Be careful. Gets right back in on the Lucian, and it's going to continue on. Sejuani knocks down Mia, and Jojopyun has a stopwatch for a minute. Will it be enough, though? Maybe going to come back in and flash of safety. Soldier's not going to have it happen, and TSM wanted the play. Spica almost got it, and they're going to get nothing. A 5-for-0 final at ace to EG.
EG's team fighting is too damn good. None of them go down. Clean ace there. Danny stayed around that whole time with no health, even waiting for the perfect moment there to go back in and help to kill off Maple. 1 exhaust is good, but 2 exhausts are better. Spica going back in, got baited by the exhaust, couldn't get the initial kill. And EG slink out of there with low health bars, but a massive gold advantage. They're going to be able to take this tower down. That puts the FTX gold advantage up to about 6K. And we have not yet crested the 20-minute mark. EG, man, their team fighting is just next level.
Yeah, oh man, what a really good fight. So let's watch this again. So close on the bubble from Mia.
Yeah.
He was able to flash, it doesn't matter where it was aimed, he could always have flashed that.
Yep, so he takes the Q back in, but the exhaust is there. Inspired is in the area. The ulti comes through. Look at this culling from Tactical, just barely misses the last bullet. Then Danny sidestepping the ulti on the top side. Tactical has gone very aggressive here. He flashed in, he already used the cleanse, so Jojo comes in, does get the kill. The Hex Trigger, though, and the perfect timing stopwatch, which was available, buys the time to get him out. He flashes over the wall. Vulcan is there with the heal, as Maple's committing to try to kill Jojo. Danny stayed around the entire time, biding his time, waiting for that moment to rejoin the fight. He comes in, helps to finish it off. EG just playing to the very nice edge in that fight. These players know their limits, and are using their cooldowns perfectly, and it's just got to be so frustrating for TSM. Both the EG carries a couple hit points away from dying. Could have meant such a difference in that fight. I mean, if Danny gets hit by one more tick of that culling and dies early, then maybe Maple can take over the end of the fight. Doesn't get killed off by Danny.
Right.
So It's such a big swing in fights like this, but now you look over and Danny has 2 completed items. The Essence Reaver and this Kraken that early on is really, really frightening.
They're going to find mid-tier 2, so gold lead will grow back above 6,000 gold right here. Yeah, 6.2, and we know 115 till the dragon comes up. I believe Jojopyun held on the package the whole time. A nice turret to back, though. Yep. Bounty's rightfully on for this one, probably for several minutes. But question is, are TSM willing?
No.
And you can see, yeah, there's the on-the-way ping of top outer. I think TSM, in all cases, should always try to trade for top outer, and if EG play greedy, top tier 2 for a dragon.
I mean, this is what I always think about, right? You just look at item completions, right? And you start looking at these kind of like key members, you know, even across the board here, you know, mid lane, of course, that is more at parity, but the item advantages are pretty significant across the board. It does become really, really problematic when the gold lead is showing itself in an extra completed item. That is where you're really kind of at your biggest deficit. So I don't think we're going to see them fight for it at all. We know that package is going to be available here for Jojo, so that's going to further reinforce the fact that they won't want to go for it. Also really do like this style of build when you are kind of the sole engage, as Sejuani is this game, where he's very high on CDR. The Frozen Heart, Lucidity Boots is going to have a relatively low cooldown on that ultimate. It's already down at 60 seconds, so you can definitely be pretty aggressive with it.
Oh, this is smart by EG, though. Actually, the incredible extra pressure on mid lane to say, hey, do you really want to react to losing an inhibitor? Because that could be the possibility here.
They're flanking. Look at the mini-map. They're actually coming up.
Yeah, they're going for this play on a Maple, saying, you know, maybe not the people to control this one. A ward in the brush, and the blast bundling for safety. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and stop everything possible. TSM wanted the cross map, EG park, and say, well, get Dragon when we want it. They're going to knock down Maple instead. Package for good nature.
They're going to go Baron.
A bounty. And yeah, actually, they can lose a Drake. Okay, cool. Hey, bounty still acquired. TSM, it was a bait and switch, but yes, the Baron claim is going to look even better.
Yeah, we'll see if TSM can do anything about it. The objective bounty is claimed. They do grab a second dragon. Looks like TSM is not even going to try to challenge here because they know Jojo didn't even spend the package. I think that is actually timed out, though.
No, he used it to kill
Maple.
Used it?
Oh, excuse
yeah, he
me.
did burn it.
So, you know, still paying respect, I guess, to all the other cooldowns that are remaining. You know, the ultimate from Yuumi, the ultimate from MF. They are going to give that up. TSM closing the gold lead a little bit because they do get the bounty, but of course the Baron is going to be very problematic and really help EG to push this game forward.
It's going to look pretty good. So unfortunate for TSM, but looks like it's not going their way. Evil Geniuses, the defending LCS champions. They got the Red Bull Baron buff. They're going to look for the power play here. It's probably going to be an inhibitor or more. Nothing else to take but the TSM base. So this question is how much the siege is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, they do have pretty good poke. They do have pretty good setup. You know, I don't think they're really looking at Dragon Soul as their win condition any longer. They are just kind of looking to continue to extend this gold advantage, push in, poke with the Corki, who now has that Luden's completed. Yuumi strapped onto him. Yes, you know, you're maybe not getting as much of an amp as some of the other champions do, but I still think Yuumi plus Corki is an incredibly strong combo because it allows Corki to position a lot more aggressively, knowing that he has the safety of the Yuumi attached to him, the speed up, the slowdown from the prowling projectile allows you to really chase people down, and if they try to engage, of course, you have the exhaust, you have the ulti for feel, so it just allows Jojo to really kind of push to the maximum here as far as the amount of poke, the amount of damage you can get out.
It'll be painful. Bot lane tier 2 under a bit of fire. So far not able to get up for...
Oh my God.
Man. Yep, number 2, number 3. That's a dash backwards. I believe it wasn't a big one. Actually, I think it was. He can get away regardless. Looking to look pretty solid there. Bot lane tier 2 is gone. And we've got the push still going. Impact took over the mid lane. They're going to shepherd the minions in. Pretty tanky thanks to the Baron buff. And, well, still a minute 20 to go. 3,500 on the power play. Going to keep that one going if they can.
Yeah, looking good so far. I mean, TSM are going to have to bring all their members down towards bot, but the tower is going down here pretty quickly, and Impact just kind of playing bodyguard to these two carries.
The only unfortunate thing is you've got Danny relying on his flash as the disengage tool because he's 550 range, doesn't have really long range turret shots or anything, so can only do so much in the face of an Azir.
Yep, and we'll see if they can sync up the waves. That's what they're really going to try to look for here, is try to have these two waves crashing at about the same time.
Yeah,
it is pretty close.
You see Impact's not hitting, everyone else is. They got the Ornn, and we're going to have a fight. Mean absolutely nothing, no stuns. Tactical cleanses, gets away, stays alive, back into the base. Mia a bit low, has to flash away. as he might have died to a bullet time, but here comes the rest of the push. Inspired dives, they're gonna look for one, and yes, that is Azir going down. A stopwatch for a second, impact flash into safety. Turret back onto the cannon means that will fall without much issue. Elite Sin drops a 2-for-0. Tactical kills the wave and dies himself. 4 picked up, and Huni is on the run. It turns out TSM indeed will not end up anything like CLG. They cannot beat Evil Geniuses. EG continue the march. 26 minutes in. TSM may have claimed a Drake, they may have claimed 2, a Herald, a second, but not a single kill. No one on EG will fall. The turrets drop. TSM 2-4. Evil Geniuses temporarily alone in first place.
EG crushing today, looking so dominant, which with a comp that could have been this slow, methodical, late game style composition, they come out, they get aggressive here, closing it out in under 26 minutes here against TSM. EG bouncing back after their loss last week, looking so damn good here today. Really love the killer instinct to be able to kind of push the pace of the game, to be able to close that one out. Ratio on the forehead there for Vulcan is absolutely hilarious. But it really all came down to that one big team fight over by EG's jungle, by the Raptor Pit. EG again showcasing their skirmishing power, how good they are at coordinating as a team in these 5v5s, in these 3v3s. I think that is really where EG is head and shoulders above the rest of the league, is their team fights, is their skirmishes. They're able to showcase some real brilliance with that here today.
And the one unfortunate thing, a bit of an improper ratio, 12-0. Does not really compute. Try it. Can't divide by that number. Still, though, pretty much immaculate for EG. Every objective they dropped was basically a trade. I would say first Dragon, that was just well played by TSM. I think they outplayed the setup from a deficit. Well done. They got the Herald setups. Those are good roams by Mia. Like, there were some glimmers of some good plays by TSM, but every single fight, far better on the EG side. Danny playing to the edge, right? Went for a more aggressive build like the Kraken Slayer. Had enough heal, the Devil Exhaust. Sorry, couldn't quite finish the kill off. And yeah, every single team fight, just a complete, 100-0.
And it felt like the wheels kind of fall off pretty early. I think the pathing was really smart from Inspired. They take advantage of that early. As soon as MF got first blood, it felt like TSM kind of just bailed out of the 2v2 and Mia started to roam. And I think if you're going to draft Lucian Nami and you can't actually control bot side, then that was kind of TSM's plan for the early game, right? Like, I think that was basically their whole plan. You have Ornn and Azir, you're not planning on playing aggressively through them. So Lucian Nami are supposed to dominate, supposed to help you stack dragons. When that goes awry, TSM looked a little bit directionless. Wasn't a perfect game, but it was a shutout, a no-hitter, whatever you want to call it. Like, they got stomped.
Yeah, they got stomped. Nice try on the Heralds again. I think there was at least an okay pivot, but yeah, not nearly good enough, obviously. So we're going to be joining Emily and Danny for